like you're going into the unknown again? Obviously, at the start of the season, you had a pre-season, you had a few games before the first two games. You're going into this game now with only training games, competitive games, not really pre-season. Is there a bit of the unknown for the first 10 or 15 minutes before you settle into the whole game?
I think that, like I said, I go back to the other. I think you just go and you set your stall out, and then we get what we get on the day. I think really, if you start to put obstacles in there, then you've got more obstacles to overcome. I think what we've got to go and do is look forward to the game. We're playing football again. It's what we get paid for. It's what we do. It's what we love doing. So let's just get on with it. Yeah,
and obviously you're meeting a Hull side. They're in good form at the moment. It's a good start to the season, 2 wins, 2 draws. Their only defeat the last day out, but a whole different change of playing team there. Many changes. Whole Shots has brought in roughly 11 or 12 new players. So is it hard really to engage with a relatively new manager and a relatively new team compared to last year?
Oh, you don't compare it to last year. You just compare it to what, or you just look at it as it is. You know, what it is now, what they're doing now, who the potential players are. There's going to be some changes to the team. There's potential changes to formation. And who knows? I think we'll plan for every eventuality, and then we'll go up there and we'll go and do what we do. We'll try and play as well as we possibly can do in the manner that we do. So we'll take a good number of supporters as we always do. And like I say, we're just looking forward to getting back to work.
And Mark, if I can touch on a young 18-year-old on loan from Crystal Palace, Republic of Ireland, Youth International, Tayo Adaramola. How's he settling in? Obviously, he's yet to make his competitive debut. I know you've only played 2 games, but is he really chomping at the bit and pushing his name into your thoughts in terms of a start?
I think as a young player, you come in and there's an element of the unknown. It's his first loan. So I think it takes time. I think it's unfair, really, to sort of say how quickly or when is he going to play or whatever. I don't know is the honest answer to that. I think he needs to settle. First and foremost, he needs to be comfortable in his environment to start with. So once that happens, then you can see the real talent, because he's a real talent. He's got loads and loads of confidence about him. But I think when you come to a new place and it's the first time, it takes you a little bit of time to sort of to settle a little bit. And be your true self, and I think that's what he's going through at the moment. That's why he played in the 21s the other day. He came and asked, actually, but he was going to play anyway because he needed to. But he came to ask to play because he knows that he needs some minutes, and he needs to keep moving forward as quickly as he can do and bridge a gap, because there's a bit of a gap to bridge for him at this moment in time. But he's a brilliant kid, really good kid. Like him a lot. He's got loads of talent, and hopefully we can. Again, he's a young player, so that's what we try and do. We try and give people opportunities when they're ready, and like I say, we're getting as ready as we can as soon as possible.
And what were the best attributes that you saw him in during his time at Crystal Palace that made you wish to acquire him on loan?
He's aggressive. He's really quick. He has got loads and loads of boundless energy, really, and it's just channeling that in the right areas, the appropriate areas. I think for me, he could be a real asset a little bit later on.
And I suppose, Mark, obviously with the problems off the field, but an awful lot of attention on all of your top marquee players as well. Must be hoping that this transfer window shuts fairly quickly with all the interest on Victor Gurkish and Dominic Heim and Callum O'Hara and Gus Hamer, roughly. You'd be hoping that September the 1st comes fairly quickly and they're all still on board.
Yes.
And do you expect many ingoings or outgoings at Coventry before the end of this window?
I don't know. Like I say, you've just said there's interest in players, and that is a consequence of them being really good top performers. So you know that's obviously the window's open, and that's what happens. So as a consequence of them being really good players, not just them, other players as well. You've not mentioned about 15 or 16 others, but you know, there are some really good players here that will be attracting attention.